Hi, this is Dr. Bridget Bongard, Medical Director of the Maui Cancer Wellness Retreats. Today we're going to continue our Cancer Fighting Kitchen series with the introduction of a very ancient golden tea recipe that not only will you find delicious, but also very nourishing, and it has amazing medicinal effects. So let's talk about the origin. Where did turmeric come from? Well, as it turns out, this dates back to 2 centuries BC along the ancient spice and silk trade routes. So if you look at the map, you'll see that it goes all the way from the Spice Islands deep into Polynesia, across China, India, and Upper Arabia, Mesopotamia, all the way to Italy and on to Europe. And how was this transmitted? Horseback, camel, by sea route. But the important thing about this was that it ended up in these immense spice markets that were not only an exchange of goods, silk, raw materials, spices, but also an exchange of science, an exchange of medicine and culture. So it's really a very interesting history that brings us even to today. So I just want to show you the science behind this. This is an article from the Journal of Translational Oncology, April of 2019, very, very current, looking at the use of turmeric as well as omega-3 fatty acids in treating pain and inflammation in breast cancer patients undergoing adjuvant therapy. Yes, it works. Now let's go on to look at some slides here about the medicinal effects of turmeric. So turmeric, the root, has not only turmeric oil but also curcumins. And those are the phytonutrients that actually create the anti-inflammatory response. But not only that, it's also neuroprotective. It improves depression, it improves your thinking ability. That's pretty powerful. It stimulates the gut, which we call a cholestatic response, because it makes bile flow, which helps your digestion. It's anti-inflammatory. As a matter of fact, it's used over the counter for osteoarthritis very frequently. It also modulates the immune system with tumor necrosis, alpha factor, and more. So what are the anti-cancer properties? Number one, it slows cancer cell growth and stops the growth of the development of a vascular network that the cancer cells need to survive. Number two, it has chemoprotective effects, combining with the vitamin D receptors and to achieve an anti-cancer effect. Number three, it actually sensitizes and enhances some chemotherapies and also radiation. So you need to tell your oncologist if you're taking turmeric tea on a daily basis. As a matter of fact, what we would really recommend is that you avoid the use of turmeric tea while you're getting your treatment and use it before and after. So let's also then I'll talk about the spices themselves and the powerful healing effects of them. Looking at the first slide on turmeric, you'll see that it's very high in pyridoxine, which is a B vitamin that relieves depression and anxiety. Secondly, it has iron and manganese and copper, all of which benefit the immune system and its antibacterial functions. It scavenges free radicals and has tremendous antioxidant properties. Looking at cinnamon. Cinnamon is an insulin sensitizer, which means that it lowers the state of inflammation by making your insulin work better. It's also an anti-inflammatory agent. Cardamom. Cardamom has high amounts of manganese, again, improving the immune system. It's an antioxidant, and it also is what we call a carminative, which aids in digestion. Cloves are anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and have anti-tumor properties in the literature. Now let's talk about the recipe for golden tea. What do you need? So look at all these beautiful spices that we have, just an array of goodness here to choose from, to mix together to really aid our immune system and give us energy and decrease inflammation. So we have turmeric, and if you take a turmeric root, you'll notice that it looks remarkably different than ginger, which has a similar root shape but is much larger. Ginger is also anti-inflammatory, and you could put it in this. And when the turmeric is dried and ground, you see it has this beautiful golden powder. As a matter of fact, turmeric's in French's mustard. Black pepper. Why do we use black pepper? Because when you crush black pepper and you mix it with a turmeric paste, guess what happens? It increases the absorption of turmeric, which otherwise is very poorly absorbed from the GI tract. So we have crushed black pepper. These are cardamom pods. As I said, they're anti-inflammatory and improve your digestive function, and clove and cinnamon. And over here we have your coconut oil, and we can use either almond oil, whole milk, or whatever you really want, water if you prefer, as a vehicle for the spices to make the tea. So now what we're going to do is to make the paste, and then we'll go to the stove and I'll show you how to cook it up. So we take 2 tablespoons of our turmeric. We take 2 tablespoons of our coconut oil. Right, and then remember our black pepper, which is needed to allow the turmeric to be absorbed. All right, let's head to the stove. So I think I put too much coconut oil in there and we couldn't quite get a paste. So what I had to do was just add more turmeric and black pepper. So as you see now, it's making a thick paste, and that's exactly what you want. And when this cools down, you could just put it in a container and it'll last for weeks in the refrigerator, so that you could just take small portions and not have to go through this process every time. Okay, let's instruct our tea. So here we go. We're going to take about 1/2 of a teaspoon of turmeric paste. Good. And we'll save this for later. We'll put our cloves, 4 or 5 cloves in. I like mine spicy. Cardamom pods, our cinnamon stick. And if we wanted, we could even put ginger root in, but I'll skip it this time. And then we pour our almond breeze in there. And I'll show it to you in a minute because it's starting to turn about a luscious color. And I put about, 1.5 cups, 2 cups in. Now, there we go, just stirring it up. And if you don't have enough turmeric to make it really look golden, just add a little more of your paste. All right. Now you can see it's starting to turn a lovely light yellow, but let's add just some more paste in it to make it really golden appearing. Okay, just a little bit more paste. It's really starting to be beautiful. All right. There we go. And let's just cook this down and check back in 5 minutes. Okay, now we've cooked this for about 3-4 minutes to allow the spice oils to come out and all those phytonutrients. And let me just show you. There we are. See what a beautiful color that is? There you go. At this point, what you can do is either pour it to catch the whole spices through this strainer, like that. Or you can just take a ladle and ladle around it, and I think we'll do that for simplicity's sake. There we go. And that's about all the serving that you need, maybe just even a half a cup. Now, if it's too tart or astringent for you, you can also put in some honey. But by putting in the almond milk, that's just a little bit of sweetness, which is just right for me. So I'd like to invite you to try this, because it's a great, great medicinal value, and it's a real pick-me-up too. So bon appetit. Let me know how you like it. Let me know how it makes you feel. And you can reach us on info@MauiCancerWellnessRetreats.org. Thank you, and here's to your health. Join us on our next Cancer Fighting Kitchen Cooking Series coming up soon. Aloha.